All right, so this is part 2 of gold, silver, and the economy with Yankee stacking and urban lifestyle. Now, if you guys want to see part 3, make sure you comment down below part 3, because I'm thinking about releasing part 3 tomorrow. But if you guys want it right now, today, I'll do so. Just comment down below, all right? I will be the light that
shines. That's when I think my third prediction could come true. This is just for fun, Eli, okay? Mm-hmm. I would not be surprised if silver breaks below 15 again. Mm-hmm. Yay, by the way, if I'm right. And gold, I'm guessing 1250 before April or lower.
Okay.
So I think the market's going to enjoy the thought, but then it's going to sink in. We can't raise interest rates. It's going to affect the bond market already. Two things that have happened. I don't know if you know this, Eli, but 2 things have happened with the bond market that is huge. And I want to mention this. First is bond yields have inverted. You know what an inverted yield curve is?
Explain it. Explain it for people who don't know.
Let me explain it, right? All right. So let me say I lend you $100. And I say you can have it for 10 years. Mm-hmm. I would want quite a bit of interest. Mm-hmm. for the gift of you having it for 10 years versus me saying I'll give you the $100 for just 3 months. You don't have to pay me as much because it's only 3 months. I'm going to get it back, right? Mm-hmm. That's normal. Okay, that's the way it's supposed to work, the time value of money. Mm-hmm. But flip that around. Let me tell you that no, I'll give it to you for 3 months, Eli, but I want more interest than for you to have it for 10 years. That is what an inverted yield curve is in a very simple way. It's these long-term debt instruments have a lower return, a lower yield than the short-term debt does.
Gotcha.
Backwards. And you know what? That is one of the best indicators that we're about to go into a recession. They call that a leading indicator. So that happened. That happened only about a week or 2 ago. Mm-hmm. Big red flag, right? Mm-hmm. And something else happened on Friday. This last Friday, we entered what's called a death cross. I know I don't mean to be too wonky, okay? But basically, let me just say that a signal occurred where this is a very accurate predictor of bear markets. It predicted 2029, it predicted 1938, 1974, and 2008. Mm-hmm. And that is when the 50-day moving average crosses below the 200-day moving average. It's very unique. It shows that we don't feel comfortable with what's happening right now. So it shifts. That happened on Friday. So you're getting some bond indications like, whoa, what's going on, right? And those are leading. Those are indicators that occur before a recession or tend to before. You had a really good video. I'm trying to remember. Was it a week ago? It was 6 signs of recession, or maybe it was further back than that. 6 signs of recession.
That's way further back.
It is? How far back? That's way back?
Yeah.
All right, months ago. That was probably 2 weeks when I watched. Sorry, man. I can't keep up. Dude, you post every day. How in the world can I keep up?
I can't even keep up. Like, you asked me, hey, how far back was it? I was like, hey, don't ask me that. I don't know. I just said it wasn't 2 weeks ago.
Oh, man. So anyways, it was a good video. Yeah, you really hit a lot of good points on it about what could indicate a recession. Mm-hmm. But most of what you said were what's called lagging indicators, things that occur after the recession has already started. And remember, most of the time, if not all the time, recessions start before they go, oh, we're in a recession. they look back and go, oh yeah, crap, 2 months ago we were in a recession. So some of these indicators that are popping up are leading indicators, and they don't look good. So I mean, to me, that spells a big red warning flag that we are about to go into one. And that's why I think it's going to take a little bit. I think there's going to be resistance to see it really take hold. But I think a lot of the data that comes in after this first quarter, I mean, let me tell you, one of the things that you said was a potential indicator. It was travel. If travel is down, remember, a lot of people book their flights Christmas time. It's winter. They want to get to warmer climates. A lot of these tickets are already purchased. A lot of these hotels are already booked. That can be a leading indicator. I'm sorry, a lagging, not a leading. Sorry, a lagging. It just kind of, it looks good now, but not after some time. So I think, yeah, I think you're going to see more indications. I think there's another one was stock earnings and guidance. You said that? Did you read the news yesterday? Stock earnings, they're really worried about that, and guidance. Those two things popped up yesterday.
And the funny thing is, that video was way before all this.
Oh, yeah.
It was way before all this, you know. So in case anybody's listening, it's not like I seen this. I seen all this happen, and then I made a video.
You're so smart, man. Yeah, you hide that crystal ball. I know. No, we have a lot of things going on. We had the Trump effect. Woo! Yeah, this is awesome, right? We had the tax cuts. We've still had low interest. You know, remember, a lot of what you see in the stock market is stock buybacks. Companies that are buying back their own stocks in unprecedented levels. Okay, can artificially. What's happened is that people, when I was young, the economy and the stock market were different. The stock market was an indicator of the health of the economy. Right now, the economy is sick, but the market is doing okay, or has been, well, to some point. And so people think, oh, everything is fine, but it's not. So, I mean, the reason I get into all this is because it really gets into the next thing I want to talk to you about, is what kind of stacker I am, and how I get into, or why I stack and what I stack. I think that would be probably what people would really want to hear on this. You know, dude, you can edit all this stuff out if you want. I don't care. But it really does drive a lot of what I do for my investments in precious metals. So I have a playlist called Stacking the Yankee Way. That actually is, I did a video just about a week ago on sort of a refresher on what that means. It's probably my second, actually, no, I think it's the #1 viewed video on my YouTube channel. I think it's just past 1,700 views. Okay. And it's really talks about why I stack the way I stack, and what why you should stack, or how you should stack. So everybody stacks for different purposes, and that's fine. And I'm not here to say, Eli, you're stacking wrong, you know. That would really be obnoxious.
I get a lot of those. I get a lot of those comments. So
you know, everybody can say, you know, I forget who it says it. Everyone is an expert at their own personal finances, their own portfolio, right? Everybody's an expert, you know? And that's fine. That's good. And I could be as wrong as anyone. So, but what I did in that video is I tried to break it down. A lot of people, and I think even you mentioned this too, Eli. A lot of people get into stacking, and they really don't know what they're doing or what to do, and they get excited, and I can't blame them. It's beautiful. I
just got excited,
and it sounds awesome when you drop it. That's what it was. But the point is, what I've seen, and I've seen this a lot, is people can sometimes start buying stuff and even get buyer's remorse, or look back and go, oh, that was dumb. What was I thinking? Or waste some money or whatever. And I make mistakes too. So it's not like, you know, do it the Yankee way and you'll be perfect. No, I'm not. But I really did want to get it, you know, come up with a strategy. So my first point is, get a strategy and stick with it. Figure out what it is that you're going to do and how you're going to do it. And I kind of break that down for people by saying that there are different types of stackers, and I broke it into 3 flavors. And this is just the way I broke it down. A collector stacker, a prepper stacker, and a flipper stacker. Okay, and what do I mean by that? And don't get me wrong. Well, most of us are flavor or a combination of these 3, right?
I was just thinking.
Right, you were thinking. I can see it. So a collector stacker, right? They look at a stack as a hobby. Their motto is, and you probably heard this before: buy what you like what you buy.
All the time.
Oh yeah, man, yeah. And their focus is on really what stacking that makes you happy. What makes you happy, right? What makes you happy? There's nothing wrong with that. People have stacked, or what they used to call hoard. When I was a kid, they didn't even call it stacking; it was hoarding. All kinds of stuff, right? People used to collect Hummels. I don't even know if you know what that is. Little figurines and statues, or Beanie Babies, whatever you want to collect. Fine, right? What? It makes you happy. You get some enjoyment out of it. Great. Collector type, right?
Around my time, it was Pokemon cards, but you know.
Oh, my son's still into that, man. Oh my goodness. I said, I remember when they first came out. A prepper type, right? Their focus is they look at stacking as insurance. Their motto is better a year early than a day late. Right? And their focus is on what makes you safe. So safety is what they're thinking. Now that can be and when I say the term prepper, I'm not talking about bunkers and zombies. I'm talking about preparing. So you can prep for retirement. You can prep for an economic collapse. You can prep for a lot of different scenarios, right? But it's focused more on looking at precious metals and saying, this is insurance, right? So that's that. And then the last one is the flipper, right? The flipper type, right? They look at stacking as an investment. Their motto is, if I can flip it, I want it. So they're less concerned. No, they're less concerned about, wow, you know what? Wow, this is beautiful. No, they're like, can I turn a profit? So their thought is, what makes me a profit? That's the flipper type. And that's another type of stacking, right? So what am I? And then I'm going to ask you what you are.
All right.
I am about an 85% prepper stacker with about a 10% collector and about a 5% flipper. and when I started about 5 months ago, I wouldn't have said I was a flipper at all, 0. But then International Stacker got me to jump in on the palladium proof. Oh man, that I was sweating bullets on that one. I had to really convince the missus on it, but I bought it and I flipped it and I got about, I think I made like $700 on it. So, and that went right back into precious metal. So that was like the biggest flip right off the bat. So I don't flip much at all, but you know, there may be a few things I might, but my focus is to being a prepper type stacker. I succumb to the beauty every so often. And buy higher premium rounds or bars or whatnot, but that to me is a special thing. I don't need to do that because I love stacking as a prepper type. I don't get bored of the types of silver and gold that I buy. I don't. It's just I haven't got bored, and when I do, every so often, every few months, whatever, I'll say, you know what, I'm going to get myself Red Dragon or the Zin Gallus or something, or I'll buy something that's kind of fun, right? But it's primarily insurance to me.
There you go.
I don't look at precious metals. In fact, I'll show you. Can I turn on my camera?
Yeah, sure.
All right, man. So here's a smattering of what I stack. I don't look at this as a cash flow vehicle, something that's going to yield me money. I could potentially flip something. And if you're really good at flipping, yeah, you might have a cash flow. But I don't. I think of this like I have fire insurance, life insurance, homeowners insurance, right? You have health insurance. I even have food and water insurance. This is inflation insurance to me. You know what I'm saying? That
makes perfect sense.
And it's probably the most beautiful, most fun insurance I'll ever own. So I do love it. But my priorities are to have low premiums. And because I'm a prepper type of stacker, I want recognizability. And what do I mean by that? I want government silver bullion, like the American Silver Eagle, Canadian Maple Leafs. I live in the Northeast, up in the great state of New Hampshire, live free or die. For me, it's recognizability, obviously American Silver Eagles, but also I see a pile of Canadian coins up here, right? So the Canadian Maple Leaf is very iconic and it resonates with people. So that's the other thing I stack. But I'll stack, I have a tube of Britannias going. I even, I brought a Cougar in just for fun. I don't think I'll buy any more of those. They're going to spot all over the place. But, government silver bullion. That's what you're looking at right here. Government silver bullion. So that's one of my areas of focus. Back here is the constitutional, right? I just did a video on buying $30 face of constitutional at melt. I got a great deal. And so constitutional is also a big deal for me, 90%. And then gold. Yeah, there's the Yankee cannon. That was a foundational purchase. But right now it's quarter ounce. So I'm doing the quarter ounce Maple Leafs. So these are one of my favorite things to stack. Quarter ounce to me is the sweet spot in gold stacking. I think, do you agree with that? Because you did a video on what fractional gold to get, or probably more than one, right?
Yeah. Totally agree with it. I got a lot of flack on that because they said that I said
you said that.
Yeah. But if you're buying it, like I'm stating that, hey, if you're gonna get an ounce, if you have the money for an ounce,
right?
Or if you're gonna, let's say within the first month, right? Let's say that 1 month you buy, let's say 1/4 of an ounce, right? You'll spend more buying that if you were just to get an ounce of gold,
right?
So of course, fractional is perfect. Like fractional, like a lot of people know this. I have a lot of fractional, but the way I was doing it, I would spend like a whole bunch of money in 1 month, and I'll buy like 10, 15 1 gram gold.
Yeah, great.
When I could have just took 2 months.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. When I could have just took 2 months and buy an ounce.
That's what I tell people. I tell people, if you just show some, it's not easy, right? And it's not for everyone, right? But if you're buying one of these, right? Okay, if you can afford, and I've seen people do it, all right? They open up their APMEX boxes or whatever, and they pull 2 or 3 of these out. One of these roughly equals one of these right now, the price, right? So the question is, what are you going to stack? And I say both. But I do feel that people need to start thinking still more about these than they are. Sometimes it's only about that. This is just my opinion. This is how I do it. I'm really focusing on silver because I have such a gold foundation with the 21 ounce roll. I don't want to really focus much more on gold as much as silver, and I know the ratio is very silver favorable. So I'm definitely buying more silver than gold, but I don't like. What I'm concerned about is people get 10th ounces and 10th ounces and 10th ounces, and they're paying roughly $40 in premium when they do that, comparing apples to apples. So the same amount of gold, if you did it a quarter ounce or a 10th ounce, it's about $40 every quarter ounce that you're wasting in premium. So wait a little longer and then do it. So I don't know. Anyways, that's just sort of how I focus on those 3 areas: government, silver bullion, constitutional silver, and gold. But like I said, if there are times when I want to get something like this, or I love this, right? The red dragon, I'll do that. This is the guinea, one of the most beautiful coins, I think. I love that design. So I'll get those as well. I'll have fun. All right. This is one of 2 bars that I have. Okay. You can recognize where that's from, right?
Yeah, yes. Free baggins, by the way.
Free baggins, baby. Yep. And number 2. So I'm a little proud of that.
All right. So you guys know what to do. That was part 2. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you guys want to see part 3, just comment down below. Let me know.
That's why I work and grind.